So in 2015, while I was in level 2 in the National Polytechnic, Bamenda, I did a movie with Bichon Brian, Sir Dominic. The story was written by Bichon Brian and the movie was directed by Sir Dominic. And I did the scripting of that movie. So this talent had been in me. The title of our movie was Once in White. As little as we knew by then, what is technology about, what is filmmaking about, we were just youths growing up excited and loving what movie or storytelling was all about. But that movie for me was not the beginning of my passion for storytelling, no. As a matter of fact, I had started writing stories about myself, about my parents, long time ago when I was in the high school. I had a ledger where I had written a series of stories. I had interviewed people in the village and they would tell me about their struggles. I'm telling you, that is just how it started. So me now opening my YouTube channel is bringing to reality my long dream, my long time passion, which is storytelling. Why did I love storytelling? I love storytelling because I saw what happened to my parents in the land of Babesewan when they were still just young men. This village is the village after Kokobuma when you leave Kumba, traveling through the southwest. These people have tortured my parents since in the year 2003. And as a young child, seeing what they did to my parents, I vowed I was going to get back to them. As a matter of fact, if Mr. Ngala, head of department for law in National Polytechnic Bamenda, if he did not orientate me when I was trying to choose a career for myself, I would have become a lawyer. And the motive would have been wrong because me becoming a lawyer, I wanted to get back to these villagers for what they did to my parents. What did they do? That should be the question. If you have been following the videos I've been uploading on my channel, you would have seen an exclusive interview I had with my daddy, where he explained detailedly what these people have been doing to us since the year 2003 and this same year, July 2025. For the record, my father is a Christian and he has refused to serve or bow to our village god, Juju Miankun, that is the god of the Babesewan people. And because he refused with his family to join this sect, this cult, this village tradition, the people has vowed to torment us until their last breath. But I thank God because they are dying and they'll keep dying. So in 2003, they sent us away from school. I think I was in class 4 or 5, I cannot remember. Why? Going to school is a basic right for every child. We all know this. So if you have village disagreement or misunderstanding, it should not in any way be taken to the extent of you sending away these children away from school. But that is what happened to us. We were sent away from school because my parents refused to succumb to the pressure from the Miankun, that is a village juju of Babesewan Osakon. And when they went to the gendarmerie, orders were given from the inspectorate that we be reinstated back in school. However, while we go to school, the children will beat us, humiliate us, spit on us, and call all sorts of names just because we have refused to serve a village deity. And that is how I left my parents when I was 9 years old, because my father said he felt unsafe leaving us in school and going to the farm. I left my father when I was 9 years old, and then I went to Konyi, where I started school in class 6 until when I was in form 4. So when I got to the high school, after all these things that had happened to us in the village, because they did not only send us away from school, these people tabooed my family. We could not buy in the land of Babesewan. We could not greet anybody in the land of Babesewan. We could not sell. We could not do any transaction. As a matter of fact, my father is a cocoa farmer. The villagers were restricted from assisting him in the breaking of his cocoa. So we had to hire people from Manyemen and sometimes from Kokobuba to help us with the breaking of our cocoa. So this was traumatic, very, very traumatic. As a matter of fact, I'm still healing from it because why will you beat me because my father said he will not bow down to Juju? Why will you beat me? Why is the Juju not fighting for himself? That's a question my father keeps asking them. And for the father, my father keeps daring them. The people had vowed that they would deal with us. But I thank God because nobody that serves God will be put to shame. So God has always been making them look like fools because they have never prevailed over us. So when I got to the high school and then I saw all these things that happened to my parents, I bought a 200 ledger book and I started writing. I'll be asking my mother questions. My mother will be telling me what was happening. I'll be asking her, when we want to light fire, how did we do it? to light fire. My auntie by then will go to a neighbor's house, beg the neighbor, hide, pick that fire, charcoal, hide it under her dress, run with it, and come to our old house so that we can light a fire. Those were some of the things my mother told me, just because my father has refused to serve a village deity. So this was intriguing. It was a horrible experience, and I had always wanted to put this out as a movie. So I had written this story, and I titled it The Persecution. I also wrote another story when I was still in high school, where I titled it The Lost Glory. The Lost Glory was about a man whom I met. He worked in the Navy. He worked in the Navy, and he was at the peak of his career. He had traveled many countries, and then the only time he came to the village and bowed to a village god, a village deity, where they said they have to cleanse him if he had to maintain the wealth, the riches, and the height of life which he had attained. They said he had to bow to the tradition, he needed to be cleansed. And when he succumbed to these demands, that was the end. His life changed. His life was no longer the same. As a matter of fact, he died a miserable man. He died like someone that had never had anything. His fall was so terrible. And I titled the story of his life, The Lost Glory. And then I wrote another movie about another man still, where I interviewed him. He used to be a hunter specifically for elephants. He will hunt elephants, get the elephant tusk, sell them, and make huge sum of money. However, one time he was arrested by the government, where he served 5 years imprisonment. What happened? His friend with whom they used to do this business betrayed him in the process of the transaction. And after 5 years, he was released. The government proposed him either he should join the army since he was good at shooting, or he goes back to prison. He said he would prefer going back to the prison than to join the army, the Cameroonian army. And I asked him, but why? He said he cannot work for the government, he cannot work for anybody, and that the money that he makes from elephant tusk is far more better than what the government will pay him. So the government released him. He did not go back to prison, neither did he join the army. He came back to the village, and he told me he's going back into hunting. I asked him how, where do you start from? Because all his family has deserted us at that time when he was in prison. So he told me he was going to Nigeria to, warm up and then launch. And that is what he did. However, just after 1 month, he died in the forest. So I have written many of these stories because I love storytelling, and I wanted to put them, like I was dreaming of opening my own production where I'll be producing these movies. I, of course, am a good actor. You can see the little shot of our movie when I was still in the university, when we were still low and we had nothing. That was me acting with Bichon Brian. So when I acted that first movie, my daddy was not so happy with it. As you can see, I was kissing in the video, and so he told me no, he does not want acting for me. 10 years after, 10 to 13 years after, this is me opening my YouTube channel, where these stories will not be acted as movies, but they shall be told, where we share to inspire, to encourage, and to let the world know of what is happening, especially in Babesewan. Because what happened in Babesewan in 2003 is still happening now as I speak to you. These people of Babesewan in July 2025 have told my father that until he bows to Juju, he will not have peace in Babesewan. As a matter of fact, they are trying to collaborate with chiefs in Kokobuma, Babesetu, Ekita, and Talangaye to taboo my father, to restrict him from moving, working, communicating, mingling, and associating with these people. Why? Because he still stands as a man, as a servant, as a child of God. He who will bow to no other God except Christ Jesus. Brethren, can you see what my father is going through just for the sake of Christ? Because a man has chosen to serve God, you people have decided to torment him. This is the reason why I wanted to become a lawyer. I wanted to get back at the Babese people. I wanted to bomb that village. I wanted to take all of them to court and finally to prison. And when I shared this vision with Mr. Ngala in National Polytechnic Bamenda, as at 2013, when I got to the university, he told me, no, it is not a good idea. He asked me a series of questions, and after having a close and deep conversation with me, he told me that will not be a good option for me. And that is how I went into the business administration and finance. And I'm very happy, and I'm telling Mr. Ngala, thank you today for helping me make the right choice. Because even though not a lawyer today, I can still sue the people of Babesewan Osako, the land of Sodom and Gomorrah, cursed, defied, and unclean place. The time of your torture and humiliation has come to an end. Mr. Ngwe Simon Eyambe gave birth to a child. This is me representing him. And I will so come for you, this particular village, that you will never imagine it could ever be. Now, hear these people of Babesewan. Stop all your strategies. Stop your wicked acts towards my father, because he will never bow to Mianku Juju of the land of Babesewan. If the Juju is so powerful, let the Juju fight for itself. But since it is as powerless as Baal, the people of Babesewan will not stop fighting. But since we also have Jehovah, the God of fire, he will surely consume and burn all your gods to ashes. This is just the beginning. So, ladies and gentlemen, Daily Truths with Miss Mel is out to have sincere, deep, unfiltered, and honest conversations with you about your life encounters. What is that victory that you have registered that you want to share with the world? What is that mistake that you made at the sunrise of your life that you want to tell the world? What is that breakthrough that you hammered? Daily Truths with Miss Mel is open to everyone, everywhere, where we share challenges, stories that touch, encounters, everything shareable. Join us today. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Daily Truths with Miss Mel, and be part of our community. Let us build a safe place together where people can freely talk about their stories, their challenges, their lives, and what's more. Daily Truths with Miss Mel. Everyone has a story, and every story counts. Daily Truths with Miss Mel. Everyone has a story, and every story counts. Thanks for listening.